Did you know that 10 years before Nessie was spotted, there was a different huge lake monster taking center stage? Get ready, because this is a wild one tonight on Midnight Cryptid Club. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Midnight Cryptid Club. I'm your host, Natalie Rose, and today we are on week 2 of Hispanic Heritage Month, which means that I have another South American cryptid to share with you all. Once again, before we start, if you are not a member of the club yet, please hit that like button for me and be sure to subscribe, because we discuss a different monster every Friday at midnight. Today, we are talking about a monster who actually comes from the same place that I do. We are traveling down to Patagonia in Argentina, where we'll be discussing Nahuelito, a sea serpent who had been described as Argentina's very own Loch Ness monster. So grab your mate and let's dive in. Interestingly enough, Patagonia was actually named Patagao, or Bigfoot, by Portuguese sailors, as they believed they had seen giants walking across the land when sailing by in the 16th century. It's kind of made for cryptid activity. It's literally called Bigfoot. But even before the Portuguese made their way down to the end of South America, the indigenous Teluche people had all kinds of stories about mysterious spirits and sea monsters lurking in the lake known as Nahuel Huapi. As more settlers began to enter Patagonia, the legends only grew. An American gold miner by the name of Martin Sheffield gave his first-hand account of seeing the creature in 1922. He wrote, then Buenos Aires zoo director Clemente Onelli, after seeing a long-necked, swan-headed creature near Epuyén, a village a little south of Bariloche. Onelli was excited by the news and organized an expedition to Epuyén Lake as well as Nahuel Huapi and a few others in the surrounding area. There were lots of discoveries happening around this time, so the idea of uncovering a big species actually wasn't too far-fetched. At this time, a man named George Garrett actually spoke up and shared his own tale of Nahuelito, describing a sighting that had taken place 12 years before. In 1910, he was sailing in an inlet when he saw a massive creature rise 6 feet out of the water. Garrett gave his account to the Toronto Globe, and word spread like wildfire. Onelli had been receiving sporadic reports of an unknown creature since 1897, and after Sheffield shared his account, the team sprang into action. The expedition to find the creature was led by Jose Chiaggi, superintendent of the zoo. Unfortunately, after several days, a confusing back and forth about permits, and a lack of substantial evidence, the group concluded that the monster, if it ever existed, appears to have fled to parts unknown. The group was also met with intense criticism from the press, but the sightings persisted, and everyone wondered what this creature could be. The word on everyone's lips was that it must be a plesiosaur. So what is a plesiosaur?
What?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. English paleontologist Mary Anning first discovered plesiosaurs in 1823 in the UK. She herself is a fascinating figure, and I encourage you to look her up if you've never heard of her before. She was only 24 when she made this incredible discovery. That makes me question a lot of my choices. In the 20th century, paleontology interest grew exponentially, and people began to report more and more sightings of prehistoric creatures that could still be roaming the earth. Arthur Conan Doyle's Lost World also came out around this time, which got people excited about those things as well. The plesiosaur was actually a large marine reptile that lived in the Mesozoic era, specifically from the late Triassic to the late Cretaceous period. They had long necks and small heads, similar to the description from our friend Sheffield. They varied in size, from the smallest being 9 or 10 feet to up to 50 feet long. For reference, that's about 2 school buses end to end, or the height of a 5-story building. They had 4 large paddle-like flippers and flat bodies, excellent for swimming. Interestingly enough, despite their appearance, these guys actually aren't dinosaurs, but more closely resemble sea turtles due to their limb placement. Dinos actually belong to an evolutionary group called Archosauria, which also include birds and crocodiles, while plesiosaurs are part of a different branch of reptiles called Sauropterygia, which evolved independently from the archosaurs. But no matter what the species, Nahuelito has a legacy that has stayed alive since the 1920s. While there was a lull in sightings after the Onelli expedition, likely due to the not-so-great press, the 70s saw a resurgence of rock and roll, peasant fashion, and Nahuelito sightings. In mid-February of 1976, a man named Achilles Lamfrey booked into the Parque Hotel off of Nahuel Huapi. He looked out his window and saw a large animal with a dark-colored back and a long snake-like head thrashing around in the water. In December of 1986, engineer Guillermo Varsi and his daughter were returning in his boat from a picnic when they saw a submarine-sized animal with multiple black dorsal fins on its back. Varsi's daughter took a photo of the animal, and that has become the most famous photo of Nahuelito to this day. On New Year's Day of 1994, Jessica Campbell and Paula Jacarbe saw Nahuelito just offshore from the beach they were on. They said it was as big as a whale and had multiple humps and 2 flippers, but they never saw its head. They were so close to it that they could hear it breathing. In April of 2006, someone anonymously sent 3 photos, allegedly of Nahuelito up close, to the El Cordillerano newspaper, but they're generally thought to be fake, and I mean, if you take a look at these things, they're not fooling anybody. From the 2010s to the present, many sightings have been reported. Most recently in late January of 2020, when what appears to be some kind of serpentine black creature was actually filmed in Nahuel Huapi. There have been several documentary and film crews in recent years that have tried to catch sight of the monster, but no one has been able to do it yet. Since the sightings, Nahuelito has just become part of the culture of Bariloche. You can find him on chip packaging, on a brand of cigarettes. There's even a tango called El Plesiosauro after him. The lyrics talk about how he's a poor, hunted creature, and even mentions our friend Natalie, but not in the best light. Apparently, there was a poll done in recent years that states that 50% of the residents of Bariloche still believe in the monster. So, no matter if you do or don't believe in Nahuelito, his influence is here to stay. Guys, this has been such a special episode to share with you all. My family is from Argentina, and sharing a story about a monster so close to home is near and dear to my heart. Next week is the start of October, and we have some spooky, scary episodes coming up that you will not want to miss. So, stay curious and go make some chimichurri or choripan this weekend. For now, good night, sleep tight, and don't let the monsters bite. Go for it. So it's kind of made for a cryptid. Since 1817. This has been such an Cordillerano. I'll do that one more time because I tripped up a bunch. Yes. That's a caca.